Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Phantasy Star played on the Wii Virtual Console. Last episode we ended up outside Medusa's cave. Before we head into the cave in this episode, we're just going to head south here real quick. We're going to see a village in the middle of this forest, but if we step into the forest, basically just the path is unclear and we can't go through there. We need a compass to get through there. We were told that by one of the residents, I believe in Scion. And we're actually going to be able to get a compass in this dungeon. So that's why I wanted to show that off before I ended up getting the compass. So here we are in the dungeon. We were in a dungeon before with the Camineet warehouse, but unlike the Camineet warehouse, this dungeon actually has monsters inside of it. So now the monsters ain't too tough. The only one that's really difficult is there's a green slime monster, and they can be difficult if they appear in really large groups. I misspoke, I think in the first episode, and I said that the enemies can be in a group the size of your party plus 1. It's actually the size of your party times 2. So right now we can run into 4 green slimes at most. But once you pick up Odin, which ain't gonna take too long, we can run into 6, and that's a pretty deadly encounter. We don't have a lot of healing. Alis can heal twice with because healer costs 2 MP, so not a lot of healing here. But luckily, it's a small dungeon, so let's cut out the any random encounters of enemies we already saw. More of those eyes. We really can run into the eyes and the green slimes in this area, so now we get to the far end here, go to the left, and down this hallway and to the left is where we will find Odin. So you might not want to pick Odin up right away. You might actually want to get the compass first, because then that way, you know, you're gonna reduce the amount of enemies that you come in contact with. But I wanted to grab Odin first because, just because he tells you about the compass, so we end up using the Alis medicine on Odin. Thanks for saving me. I guess if Medusa can stop me, I don't have much hope of killing Lassic, do I? My brother died trying to kill Lassic. Before he died, he told me to seek your help. Is that so? Well, I must not let your brother die unavenged. Why did you try to kill Medusa? Because Medusa has a mystic axe. Unfortunately, she got away from me. Anyway, I stashed a compass in one of the passages of this dungeon cave. Let's go and get it. And we didn't even have to move, but we got ambushed by monsters right after Odin joined our party. So Odin, right now, he's basically almost the same as Alis. That his attack power, his defense power, just a little bit more. He'll never get any spells. He can use axes, swords, but the best weapon that he can get are guns. Guns do fixed damage. There's 3 guns in the game. Needle gun, heat gun, and then the laser gun. And they all do fixed damage to every target. The best thing about guns, though, is, besides targeting every single enemy on the screen, they never miss. So Odin's, his other type of weapon is the axe that he can use. Well, he can use swords like Alis can, but he also mainly uses axes. The problem is, like, he can miss a lot with those axes. So he talked about that mystic axe that Medusa has. That'll be the strongest weapon in the game in terms of attack power, but it tends to be, since he misses a lot with it, it tends to be just better to just have him use the laser gun, the best gun in the game, which does 20 damage to every enemy on the screen. So running can sometimes be pretty tough. That's why sometimes you might want to buy one of those escapers. Alis also learned a spell called Buy, which lets her run away from combat, but she unfortunately doesn't have the MP to cast it right now because I used all my magic points to heal. So, yeah, slime. Pretty dangerous battle, but we managed to finally escape after 3 turns. So, alright, well, we got our third party member here, and we're gonna have to do a lot of grinding now, because Odin only starts at level 1, and his equipment isn't all that great. His armor is pretty good. He has iron armor, which is better than any armor that Alis can have right now, but he doesn't have a shield, and Alis is due for some upgraded armor as well. So yeah, he has an iron axe, iron armor, and there's the stats. I'm going to do a lot of level grinding, mainly to get to 2,740 Mercedes. It took me about an hour to do all this grinding, but with all that grinding, I was able to buy good armor for all the characters. I was able to get 2 iron shields in Camineet right here. They give plus 12 defense. They give plus 15 defense, so plus 12 for Alis because she had leather shield. I got a Titan sword from Paralite in the southwest that gave Alis plus 9 attack. I got her also a light suit in Scion, the village to the east. That gives her plus 10 defense. And I flew back to Motavia and got the fur coat for Myau. That gives him plus 30 defense, so he's a pretty much defensive tank now. Now that we have the compass, we can actually go through this forest. We end up in this small village, and I wanted to make sure I had 400 gold when I got Mercedes when I got here, because then I can buy the needle gun. Now the needle gun only does 5 damage, but it's a guaranteed 5 damage to every enemy on the screen. So when you're fighting large groups of enemies, it definitely helps out. And like I said, you'll never miss with it. So Odin shouldn't be worrying about getting a legendary axe. He should be getting worried about getting better guns. So, but that's the first gun, and it helps. So this is Epi, and talked to her twice, unfortunately. But we want to talk to to advance the plot. We have to talk to the mayor of this place, who's in the gold roofed house. So somebody named Noah lives on Motavia. Spoiler, he's going to be our 4th party member. And he's kind of like the Princess of Moonbrook in Dragon Warrior 2, where he's basically a combat mage. Although he does have 1 healing spell, so... He asked us if we know what the hardest material in the world is. We didn't know, but he said it's Laconian. So that's like the best armor. That axe that Odin was talking about, it's the Laconian axe. But like I said, we're going for the laser gun. So this guy asked us if we need a dungeon key. We do need the dungeon key because remember when we were on Motavia to go talk with the governor? We couldn't get into the governor's place because there was a locked door there. Now, we learned some more information in this town that governor will help us to fight Lassic. So, in order to meet him, we're going to have to find that key so that we can get into his residency. But if we go in there, if we try to do that right now, once we get the key, we're going to run into a security guard there, and the security guard is going to be like, you have to have a gift for the governor. Well, we learned on Motavia that the governor also likes sweets, so we're going to have to get him some sweet cakes to eat. And there's a sweet cake seller, why he set up shop there, but there's one in a dungeon north of Scion. We learned that when we were in Scion, that there's a baker who set up shop in a dungeon. And he's like the worst. Well, I guess he's a talented baker, but I guess he's a terrible businessman because, you know, they always say that, what is it, location, location, location. And his shop is, like I said, in the bottom of a 4th floor dungeon. And he's also a bad businessman because he says he's charging 1,000 Mercedes for a cake, but it only costs 300. So you don't necessarily have to grind up to 1,000 Mercedes to buy the cake. He just takes 300. So yeah, that's our path here now. We got the key. It was in that warehouse where Alice got her first 50 Mercedes back at the first episode, the beginning of the game. But yeah, that one dead end, I said there'll eventually be an item there. Well, the item there is the dungeon key, and it appears there once we talk to the mayor of Epi. Now I want to head up to the north of Scion here. Now to the right, that's like a prison. It's a tougher dungeon, so you don't want to go in there. And you kind of want to stay on the grass here. There's some tough enemies that are pretty good for grinding later on in the game. Fishmen on the beaches, but they might be a little tough right now. So we're just going to stay on the grass and just avoid running into those fishmen encountered. So we want to have as much hit points and stuff available for us when we go into this cave, because it's going to be the largest dungeon so far. So take care, see you in the next episode when we go find some cake.